I'm sure most of us have heard about this very appealing concept of having a capsule wardrobe that consists of pieces that pretty much all go together with each other. And it is just a brilliant idea, and I'm pretty sure that most people that have a capsule wardrobe are very happy with it. But personally, I feel that I'll never be able to fully commit to such a wardrobe because it just feels simply a bit too limiting in terms of creativity when choosing outfits. So instead, I'm trying to construct a wardrobe that has the best of both worlds, like Hannah Montana would say. Something that is not too minimal, but then again, not having a too big of a wardrobe either. So in this video, let's go through 5 principles that can help us build such a wardrobe. My name is Elle, and I'm on a mission to study the most stylish icons and people that I know in order to find the ways in which we can become the most stylish versions of ourselves and to live life with elegance. I've been living in Paris for about 6 months now as an exchange student studying art history, and as you can imagine, I've gotten quite a lot of inspiration concerning this topic. Of course, my own style is and will always be a work in progress, but I'm just excited to share what I've learned so far during this little life that I've had. So before we go into the actual principles, let me preface this with a few ideas. So as we know, the idea of a capsule wardrobe belongs in the same vein as minimalism, as an outlook on life or an approach on life, which is, well, it has a lot of benefits, obviously. It's always better to have less than too much clutter around us and in our homes. But in terms of a wardrobe, it means that we're very much sticking to the essentials that you can then replace when they've worn out. And there's no denying the fact that it is important to have a good foundation in your closet, like an array of basic items in neutral colors. So a wardrobe that focuses on the essentials and the basics is excellent for someone who doesn't want to spend too much time in front of their closet every morning trying to decide what to wear. They can just choose anything and everything goes with everything, and it becomes a sort of a uniform actually. But I just want to point out a couple of challenges that might be associated with this kind of a wardrobe. Because firstly, I think it can become a bit boring after a while to wear such a uniform, especially if you've used to kind of coming up with different kinds of outfits all the time. And secondly, just hypothetically, if everybody in this world, well, it's not gonna happen, but if everybody would wear this type of uniform clothing, we would lose quite a lot of diversity, right? And I believe that the point of having a personal wardrobe and personal style is that it reflects your personality, that there is a match between your inner self and your outer self, so that you can already tell something about yourself when people see you for the first time. And when you look at people on the street, you can already tell something about them, and it's really fun. And thirdly, if you live in a place like Paris where you have 4 seasons or many seasons and different kinds of weathers, it also means that you need quite a lot of different kinds of clothing to either stay cool or stay warm. And as a 4th point, if you love colors like me or using colors in your outfits, it's a bit harder to have a capsule wardrobe because not all colors go together, simply. So then you just have to have a bit more clothes. I'm aware that these are a bit obvious points, right? But I just wanted to get them out to preface these principles that represent my take on this subject and how I intend to find the middle ground in building a wardrobe. So the first principle is to invest in good quality staples, but also own a few statement pieces or colorful pieces just to keep it fun. So it's all about finding the balance between these 2 kinds of items, because at least for me, choosing outfits and getting dressed is something, it's a means for me to be creative. So it does require something from your closet. You need to have enough options. But concerning having the staples, I really vibe with what Nina Garcia is saying in her book, The Little Black Book of Style. It's on page 18. Basic number 2, invest in the bones. The bones of your wardrobe are those essential staples that go with almost anything, never go out of style, and are enduringly chic. They are meant to be a blank canvas that you can layer onto. They are dependable and perhaps unremarkable, but a stylish woman understands that not every piece is supposed to be remarkable. Some items are just supposed to be reliable. I really like the wordplay there. So obviously this means that it would be good to have good quality underwear, undershirts and t-shirts in neutral colors, because they are the blank canvas that you can layer onto. But on top of that, Nina Garcia talks a lot about some other classics and statement pieces that she considers that would be good to have in your closet. So a lot of them you can find in this book, and then also check out this book, The 100, A Guide to the Pieces Every Stylish Woman Must Own. It's a New York Times bestseller as well. So this includes really a nice mix of all the necessary and not so necessary pieces that you can play with, and it's written in a really fun and entertaining way as well, and with great illustrations. But overall, I think this is just a great way of thinking, because it encourages creativity, and that putting together outfits should be fun and not just about obeying some rules. The second principle is a bit more specific to people that work in a place where you have to wear a specific type of clothing or a style of clothing. So in that kind of a case, I actually think that it would be great to have some sort of a uniform or a capsule wardrobe just for work that you wouldn't wear at all basically in your time off. And as we know, it also serves as a kind of an unconscious signal to yourself that once you wear work clothes, you're also in work mode, which helps. That's probably also how school uniforms work. I've never worn a school uniform, but I would imagine that if you're dressed in a sharp way, you also think sharp. Whereas I know that, for example, when I'm studying, I know that if I'm wearing something really relaxed, it's so much harder to actually get decent work done. But if I wear something nice and I feel sharp, I get more done. The third principle is that it's still good to keep a few pieces for just special occasions. So when we're considering the idea of a capsule wardrobe that basically every piece can be used at any time and everything goes well together with everything, it kind of ignores the fact that sometimes we just need an evening gown, for example, and we can't wear it all the time, but we still need to have one. Or any type of special clothing for a specific kind of situation. So it's fine if you know that you wear those kinds of items very rarely, but if you know that they fit you and they're nice, it's still good to keep them, because it's going to be hard to find something as nice in the last minute once you're going somewhere. But otherwise, I don't think it's beneficial to preserve your best clothing just for special occasions, because if you have good quality and bad quality stuff in your closet, just wear the good quality stuff all the time, because every day is a special occasion. Life is too short to wear the bad quality stuff if you can do it. But the point was that having a capsule wardrobe should still allow room for a couple of special dresses or a couple of special pieces that you need rarely, but still you need them. The fourth principle is to learn the art of editing your closet. And this is obviously the key idea behind having a capsule wardrobe, because it forces you to get rid of the stuff that you actually don't need or don't fit you, and you just appreciate the ones that you have and that really fit you well. And of course this is tied to the whole philosophy of Marie Kondo, for example, that you keep the items that spark joy. But it is kind of fascinating to think how your closet contains memories from events and everything, how clothes come and go, and then some pieces are the ones that you trust in and that you want to keep in, and that when they are worn out you want to find something exactly like it to preserve that, because you know that it fits you. But the act of editing your closet means that you just keep the ones that work, the pieces that you trust in. And this is what, once again, Nina Garcia talks about in her book, The Little Black Book of Style, on page 15. She poses some good questions here. Your closet is probably bursting at the seams, but how many items in there do you actually wear? How many of those items make you feel good about yourself? And how many times have you looked in that closet and said, I have nothing to wear? Mornings are rough enough. Help yourself out a little bit. Edit your closet, then edit your shopping habits, and I promise you that being stylish will become much easier. I agree. And on the next page, she introduces this point of be ruthless when you edit. Do not keep items in your closet for sentimental reasons. If you absolutely cannot get rid of that old jean jacket you used to wear, put it in storage and revisit it years later when you're heading to a costume party. Do not keep items just because you paid a lot for them, or because you'll fit into them again one fine day, or because you think they're beautiful but just don't look good on you. Let them go. Pass them down to someone who will wear them. If you haven't worn them in years, you will never wear them again. Your closet should be full of only pieces that look good on you and make you feel good about yourself. Your skinny jeans from high school, that trendy dress that you've never worn, I promise you, you won't miss them. Wise words. I've actually known this advice for a long time now because I read this book when I was around 14 or 15 and it really struck a chord in me and I loved it. But I feel like I've only just now started to apply this in my own life. I've done some actual editing in my closet and it feels really good, but I know that there's still a lot to go through. But this brings me to the fifth principle, that we have to accept that building a top-notch wardrobe takes time. So I would say that even if you can afford it, don't buy an entire capsule wardrobe all at once, because it means that, yeah, well, it can work, but it can also be a bit strange because as you change your clothing style, you change also your identity. Our clothes are so intertwined with how we view ourselves and how others view us. So it means that it is actually quite a big change if you change your clothing style. So for example, I've decided that I'm just going to upgrade my closet little by little, step by step. And I really like the way of shopping that I'm not searching for a specific thing on a specific day, but rather than I'm kind of looking at stores and looking at pretty things, and then I come across nice things and then I decided, oh, this could be my new style. But I think we're kind of arriving to this conclusion now that it's nice to have a sort of an extended capsule wardrobe that encapsulates your personality. And for sure, your wardrobe should always include some uniforms that you know that you will feel good in, and then you can spice them up with some accessories. And I know that building a wardrobe and exploring your personal style is not always easy, but what matters is that you're having fun during the process. But I would love to hear from you in the comments what you think about capsule wardrobes and building a wardrobe. Is it hard for you or is it easy? What's your approach to it? And if you like this video, I'm pretty sure you'll like this next video where I talk about some of my thoughts on developing your sense of style and training your eye. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by this topic, that's a good place to start. But that's it for now, and I hope you have a stylish week, and maybe I'll see you in the next video. Bisous!